Good afternoon, Sir Vermon. I am Mary Joy Ferol, one of the members of Group 4, and the assigned topic for us to discuss is all about salting and salt quality. The assigned topic for me is all about salt quality in Unit 2. So let's start. Chemical composition. Pure common salt is 99 sodium chloride NaC1. So ang pure common salt diyan is 99% sodium chloride. Apart from contaminants, naadala siya contaminants such as sand, dust, mud, and moisture, salt may contain chemical impurities. When we say chemical impurities, mga dumi, mga dili kaaya-aya, such as magnesium or calcium chlorides and sulfates, carbonates, copper, and iron. The presence of iron, like for example 30 ppm, when we say ppm, it is parts per million, and copper 0.5 ppm. Advanced salt encourage the development of rancidity, particularly in fatty fish, which can result in the unsightly, a yellowish or brownish color in the finished product. So dili ay sa bitaw sa example is 30 ppm kung ang dito sa chemical impurities na siya 30 ppm or parts per million, and copper 0.5 per million, maka-result sa or maka-encourage sa development of rancidity. So when we say rancidity, maka-rancho, which dito sa mga fatty fish, which kuno maka-result siya dito sa pagkaan slightly dili gana sa panlanta, which is yellowish or brownish color in the finished product. Calcium and magnesium chlorides are hygroscopic and highly relative humidifies, can cause wetness of the salt. So, the higher the humidifies kuno related kuno dito sa hygroscopic, maka-cause siya ng wetness dito sa salt. The presence, however, of around 0.5% calcium and magnesium sulfates can impart a desirable whiteness and firmness to the product. So, sa 0.5 calcium and magnesium, makatabang ba dyan gihapon siya sa pagkagana sa panlanta, which is ang whiteness and firmness to the product. High concentration must be avoided to prevent the development of bitterness and brittleness in the salted fish. So it should be na kung mag-asin kita, like for example mag-inasin, dili dapat sa sobraan, dapat ma-avoid ang high concentration dito para mawaya ang kapait o ang ka-brittleness, ang pagkagahig bitaw nga ng brittleness salted sa dito sa salted fish. Next will be the microbial quality. Spoilage bacteria are inhibited by salt. So ang salt ba dyan is makahelp siya para mag-inhibit sa spoilage bacteria. But some salt-related bacteria or halophysis, so naa sa mga salt na makatolerate sa bacterian. Kuan bagihapog bacteria. Kuanin mo na siya ma-found are often found in many commercial salt. So kanang mga commercial salt, mga hinimo naman na siya. So dito gajud ang may mga salt tolerant na bacteria na idyo makuan. The presence of halophilic bacteria can result in picking in cured fish. So, picking, maka-pink. Additionally, halophilic molds may be present particularly in rock, mine salt, which can cause dun in salted dried fish. So, dito asad ba dyan ang halophilic molds, maka-present gapon dyan sa mga rock and mine salt na can cause dun sa salted and dried fish. Next will be the physical properties. Salt comes in a variety of grain size depending on the number of grading steps that it has undergone. So, ang mga salt is na mga different sizes. Nagadepende siya dito sa pag-grind, mga steps na pag-grind na na agihan. Salt should be of reasonable small grain size to facilitate close contact with the fish surface and rapid dissolution. So, it should be na ang imo salt is dili kung dagko, dili sab kung pino. Dapat sakto-sakto ra para kung magamit ka dito sa surface ng fish is dali ra siya mahilis. However, it must not be so fine as to slow down the drainage of the released fish juices. So, dapat sa dili sad siya grabe kapino para mas slow down ang drainage kay sa release ng juices. Kay kung the faster the drainage, so the faster the juices na mo lugwa. Fine grained salt is suitable for brine preparation because it dissolves quickly and easily. So, mas gana saban mga fine grained salt kay mas gana gamit ang mga fine grain kanang mga pino dito sa mga abo na ko mag-brine ka ng mga isda. Kadali ra siya ma-dissolve. On the other hand, larger grain salt is more appropriate when there is dry salting fish. So, mas appropriate atong mga dagko na mga sin. Like, for example, the rock salt, bagay siya dito sa mga salting fish. Atong bitaw kanang, like, for example, magbuyad. Mas gana bitaw siya ang rock salt. Small grains act too quickly on the fish surface and remove moisture so rapidly that the surface becomes hard and prevents the entrance of salty to the inside of the fish, leading to the so-called saltborne. So, itong mga small grains, mga pino, maka-remove siya sa moisture, which is maka-prevent sa entrance of salty to the inside of the fish. Natagtawag po si saltborne. Condition. The recommended salt moisture of direct salting is 2 to 3 coarse grain salt and 1 to 3 fine grain salt. Anong mga recommended na mga asin sizes or mga timbang bitaw ni para sa imo direct salting. Next will be, there are 4 types of factors influencing salt penetration. Number 1 will be fat and protein content. Number 2, thickness of the flesh. Number 3, purity of the salt. And number 4, temperature during salting. So, let's proceed. Number 1 is fat and protein content. One of the factors na influence sa penetration sa salt. The higher the fat content, the slower the salt uptake. So, the higher the fat content the slower the salt uptake. Fat acts as a barrier both the entry of the and withdrawal of moisture. So, siya nag-act as a barrier para sa pag-block sa pag-entry ng mga moisture. High protein content, 18 to 19%, is believed to influence the attainment of osmotic equilibrium. Long before the internal salt concentration approaches the outer salt concentration, the ultimate pH of fish mussels is usually above the isoelectric point of its constituent protein, such as that the negative chlorine CH is preferentially attracted to the more abundant positively charged sites on the protein. As a result, the water holding capacity of the protein is increased and water removal becomes more difficult. So, more than to na pag ang water holding capacity of protein is increased and the water removal becomes more difficult. Number 2 will be thickness of the flesh. The thicker the flesh, the slower the diffusion of the salt to the center. So, the thicker, the kabaga sa unod, the slower the diffusion, mga pagsabog ba, mga pagsibwag ng salt sa center dito sa unod. At a tropical ambient temperature, such a delay would allow decomposition at the center of the thick mussels before the salt concentration has reached levels high enough to prevent bacterial spoilage. So, the thicker the flesh, so makahelp is just salt penetration gihapon kay sa tungod sa tropical ambient temperature, tungod sa pagka-delay ni dito sa center sa clay, tungod sa salt is makakuan siya, maka-prevent siya sa bacterial spoilage na moadto dito sa unod sa isda. Number 3 is purity of the salt. The purer the salt, the faster the salt penetration. So, the purer, dapat pure ha, the faster the salt penetration. So, mas gana ba dyan gajud ang salt. The presence of impurities, which is itong mga lipa-lipa, such as calcium and magnesium chlorides and sulfates, even in small amounts, reduce the rate of salt penetration in the flesh. So, ining mga calcium and magnesium chlorides and sulfates is, even in small amounts, bisan gamay ra daw, maka-reduce si Jais. Diyan bitaw, when we say reduce ka nang unsa pa nang, ayun, sa nang makapugong or something ingana bitaw sa salt penetration. Dito sa unod sa isda. Calcium, Ca2 and magnesium bind with protein and from a barrier to the passage of sodium. Na ions to the thicker part of the flesh. These impurities also affect the color and flavor of the salted product. So, itong mga dumi, lagi like for example, itong mga dili kaya like calcium, magnesium, and chloride and sulfates, maka-affect siya sa color and flavor of the salted product. So, maabday ng dapat ma-avoid jud nato na siya para di siya makahatag ng mga dili kaya-ayag na ang flavor dito sa ato tagimo na salted product. Number 4 will be temperature during salting. Salt uptake is faster higher temperature, but the rate of bacterial spoilage is also accelerated. So, ang the salt uptake is faster higher sa temperature, but ang bacterial spoilage also pas-pas pud siya na maka-apekto dito . Okay, number 5, fresh of the fish. The fresher the fish, the more slowly salt will be taken up. So, the more the fresh the fish, the slowly, the kahinay ang salt na ija makuha. Okay, and that's all, sir, sa ako topic na na-assign, and thank you for listening, and God bless you.